Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome to the demo of Terra Nil. This is a game that is not yet been released, but because Steam has a current event going on promoting demos of games and stuff like that, my eye fell on this one. I gave it 2 quick little runs to see how it works, and I thought it was really cool. I don't know where they're going to go with it in the future, but we're definitely going to have a look today. Alright, so we have some options. You can wishlist it on Steam, of course, but let's just start with generating a random map. Alright, so we are in the game. Welcome to Terra Nil. Your goal is to rejuvenate this wasteland by covering the landscape in greenery. So something happened to this planet and everything's fucked up. Everything is dead, nothing is growing, and it is our job to restore this nature to its proper beauty, essentially. Now we have several ways of doing this. We start out with building several types of building that are going to spread nature all around, but eventually it is going to be our goal to make sure that no trace of humanity remains. At the end, we're going to have to recycle all of our buildings, take it away, and just leave pristine nature behind. And that is extremely cool. I like that idea. It is so different from many of the other games that I have played, especially a game like Factorio, which this game actually links to as well, with a button at the end that says, if you prefer factories, or I prefer factories, it says, and if you click on it, it leads to the Factorio Steam page. It's kind of funny. But anyway, so we have several buildings, and one of the most important things that we start off with is the turbine. Now it requires a stone patch and it provides electricity, but it can only be built on these stone patches that you see all around here. It also comes with a cost of 75 greenery, I guess. It's not really said what this is called, I think, so we're just going to call it greenery. Yeah, I think I would like to start off up here. We're going to place down our first wind turbine, and then we need to see if we can get some greenery to start growing. Now there's 2 ways of doing that. The first of them would be to put down a water pump. It requires electricity and it requires a riverbed, which we have over here. And of course it's going to require 50 greenery, and it will provide water. So should we place it down over here, you can see the full reach of where the water is going to go. So just by plopping it down over here, water starts moving out. And everywhere the water touches, we have a bit of greenery. Now that actually paid for itself because we spent 50 greenery. We started with 1,000 and we ended up with 1,011 greenery. So we actually made a profit of 11. And that's kind of how, it's not really profit of course, but the problem is that eventually you might run out of greenery to buy things. And if you haven't reached your goal, it's basically game over because there's nothing left for you to do. Now the second way of doing it is building toxin scrubbers, which requires electricity and it requires dead earth, which we have all around us. And this is costing us 50, but you can place it over here, for example. Like that. And the best way to do it is to place it at the edges. Now the tutorial for me has gone because I already played it a little bit, but in the tutorial it would tell you to space it out a little bit and place like 4 of these kind of like in a circle around the turbine to get maximum coverage. And that is a very good idea. So we're going to place another one over here. We're going to place another one at this edge over here. Now the radius is going to overlap a little bit, but you can see what will be scrubbed and what is already scrubbed and all of that. But we're just going to place one down over here. And then we are going to place down an irrigator. Now the irrigator creates greenery by watering nearby clean soil. Greenery provides income, can be rotated. All right, so we have a lot of clean soil here at the moment, but no greenery. So if we plant down one of these, you can see what is going to get covered by it, how much greenery it would actually give you. So if we would place one down over here, we would get 160 greenery, which is really nice. 167, so we can do a little bit better. This would be a net profit of 117 greenery, essentially. So if we place one down over here, water comes bursting out, and we have a bit of nature. I really like the animation of it. It's very crisp, it's very clean, and I like how it just kind of pops with these bright colors. It just looks really nice, makes you feel really good about building this terrain. Another thing we can do, of course, is rotate it. So by pressing R, we can rotate it, and we can also end up with different shapes. Like we have this rectangular shape over here. Could be a good idea to place down a rectangle up over here. It's going to give us 98. It's going to cover quite a bit. So it's kind of a bit of a puzzle game as well. Like you're trying to manage the placement of everything to touch as many tiles as possible, but you're going to leave, probably going to leave some areas untouched. That's bound to happen. All right, so this seems like a pretty good way to place the last one over here. It's going to give us another 105 greenery. And we have our first little area that is entirely green, which is awesome. Now, one thing, we have several stages to this, and the first stage is trying to cover as much of this area as possible. We don't have to cover all of it, but we need to get to 100%, is the target greenery coverage percentage. Now, this 27% doesn't mean as it is that we just covered 27% of the whole map. The map is quite a bit bigger, actually, as you can see. So we just need to reach 100%, and if we don't touch all the areas, that is fine. Of course, it will be a good challenge to cover as much as we could possibly cover. But yeah, we are just going to continue on in this fashion. Now later on there's going to be a different stage where it's not just covering things in greenery, it is creating diverse biomes. There will be a forest biome, there's going to be wetlands, there's going to be some kind of I'm not sure what the last one was called anymore. But it has a lot of shrubs with flowers and things like that. It looks really nice. There is a word for it, I just can't remember. Now I think what I want to do here is I probably want to do something similar on this side. Or what we could do is we could start all the way over here. It doesn't have to be connected in any way. One thing that the water supplier, the water pump does, it does provide you a range benefit or a range bonus if you place it on higher ground. So if you place it over here, it would reach less far than when we reach it over here, and you can clearly see we're up here, we reach all the way to this area. If we place it down over here, it barely reaches this area. So it definitely pays off to put this on the high ground. All right, awesome. Now another thing that we can do is we can create our own riverbeds, and I think that is very much encouraged because it also riverbeds also give you access by boat later on. We are going to have to go away from this world by building a sort of blimp, and that blimp is going to have to carry all of the buildings that we built, but they're going to have to get picked up by boats. So if they are away from the river too much, then they cannot get picked up anymore. Alright, so what we could do is we could build an excavator, and we could use that to actually build, of course this thing has got to be powered, but we could build it over here, and you can see it's going to create a river zone in the direction it's looking. What we could do over here is, we could build one over here. It's going to take 200 greenery, and the one downside of this as well, look at that. The one downside is that it poisons the land around it. So this area around the machine cannot grow anything at the moment. Now there's another place over here that we could build. We have some stones, so we could build some power, which is nice. But if we wanted to reach all the way over here, we actually could not reach that far. Because we don't have rocks to put power on. But we also have a calcifier, which it costs 75 greenery, but you could put it down over here and it's going to create rocks around the riverbed. And from there you can build new things. I'm kind of curious, and of course we cannot build one over here, but let's have a look what we could do with that. If we would build, well, actually maybe we could build one over here. But that wouldn't quite reach the way I would want it to, I think. Now we can undo things as well, but you can only undo one single step, so we cannot go back too far. But let's put down some power over here, away from this one, because we could reach just over there. So if we put this one over here, that would be fine. And let's see, we could reach this area over here. And this would get stopped by their stones. So if we wanted to get the water over here, we would have to place it right there so that we can actually reach the thing, reach the river. Let's see, we could reach this area over here. That would be cool. Way in the back. And then it would come from upstairs as well. So there would be a little waterfall. It would travel a bit further. And if we go all as far back as we can possibly go. If we build it over here. Look at that. The water should be able to reach all the way to this part. Now, I don't think there was much benefit in building it like this, but it's a bit of an experiment. It's fun to play around with it. Now, we also have a climate goal to shoot for. Right now, it's a bit blocked by Steam, but you can see this is the goal we need to reach, and we are still way down here in the bottom. It's temperature and humidity, which at the moment we cannot influence this yet. But anyway, I think it's about time that we start, or that we continue building these, like I want to cover as much as possible because it costs a lot of money, and we're down to 500. So if I build it over here, I could reach that corner, but then of course it's also going to cover part of the river. So by building it a bit more towards the back, we actually do cover more ground. And then this is about as far as we can go, I think, with another one. And actually now we could also build one. We would get less greenery by actually building around that. You know, if we would build one of these irrigators, it's going to cover part of the river, so it's going to be less profitable. So there's considerations to be had here for sure. Anyway, let's see, we could cover 123 soil over here. Let's go for it. Let's keep going. Alright, so this would cover... This would not pay back its cost, as you could see. So there's some things that we need to change about how we plan this, but we still have this area over. Continue building out this way a little bit. Trying to get to that coverage percentage. There we go. We can do about 3 of these, and as you can see, the land around this is poisoned. Nothing is going to grow there. And I guess that's how things are going to have to be. Alright, so we could... Yeah, this is 157. That would be more worthwhile, I guess. We would leave a small patch unirrigated, but oh well. Look at that. It's very satisfying to look at that, actually. Fresh and vibrant. And the animations just really pop and sell it as well. This is really cool to see in action. Alright, we could go over here, get 116. That would be nice. And now we're at 56%, so we're just going to continue doing this. Can get one of these over here as well. I guess that would be a good place to place it. So one over there, one over here. Let's see, if we would do it like this, we could cover quite a bit of land, but it would also leave like expansion would be a bit more difficult. This way might be more worthwhile. 143 greenery. It almost pays back for itself. That's nice. 51. Let's go for it. Pays back for the irrigator. Now we're essentially going in different directions. We could get power over here as well. We could get, this is a nice area to build some power stations, I think. All right, build one over here. We will also build a water pump. I think up here would be nice. Is there a way we could turn this? So this would build it down here, and I would like it to be built up there. Well, at this point, the range benefit wouldn't really matter that much because it cannot really go that far. I just like to see all the riverbeds used up to their full potential. It is something I enjoy. Let's see, we could also shoot down a thing over here. Unfortunately, a lot of it would get blocked. Or we could do it like that, but I don't think we actually need it. We're just going to invest in greenery a bit more. Well, it would be nice to have some rocks over here as well, so that would be worthwhile. Is there a way for us to... So we would need water over there. We cannot shoot it very far unless we do it like this. Actually, this could be okay. Specify this area. Get some rocks. Of course, this did lose us some soil here, which maybe we should have done this in a different order, but oh well. We have this calcifier, and now we're running low on stuff to do, or on money and stuff. So actually, we need to be careful. We need to invest a little bit. Maybe I should have done this a bit differently, but oh well. Invest this and then put down a little bit more. Now we're running low, so now we really need to put down some effective buildings, I guess. That works out okay. And we're at 80%, so like this would not, so this is really problematic. Like, yeah, we could build one over here. Spend some money. 86. Is there a way to get more? 87. 89. Alright. That almost pays for 2 more of these. And we're at 84%. Easier later on, actually. Once we make the difference, it could pay off in dividends. But we'll get to that when we get to it. We could build one of these things over here, get some more irrigated soil all around in this patch. Let's see, we could do it like that. We would lose one. I don't know if this is more efficient for this. Like that. Alright, let's have a look. 94. I think this would be the best way to do it. 94, 103. Alright, I misspoke. We're doing it this way. Nice. Bit of ground that was covered. We're now down to 301. Alright, we have some power station or options for power over here as well. Crap. I think I missed the way I wanted to place that by moving my mouse a little bit too much. I think that was off by 1 tile. This should be a bit better. Alright, let's see, how can we get the most out of this placement? Because we do need to be at 76, and this covers almost all of it. $82, there we go. Better. Now we're up to 258 again. We need 4% more. I think I spent a bit too much money on these things. Digging trenches, unfortunate. We need to do this or do it if we have still over here that we could irrigate. I think we have a decent headway. 50. I think 59 is the best we could do here. How did I rotate this thing when we had 59? I think not like that. Ah, there we go. 59. Alright. So, with that done, it's repopulate wasteland with plant life. Now, increase the biodiversity of the ecosystem by restoring the biomes. That's the we can make. And now we have the 3 biomes. And actually doesn't say what this does, but let's see. Research center reduces the cost of scrubbers, excavators, and makes excavators smaller. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if we're going to be placing too many more of those, but it is a pretty cheap item to do. But I think this one might be more. This could be built on a crater near water, away from water. It cannot. So, for example, I did my add. Okay, or is it turn into what is this called? An hydroponium. This, so we could not. Is above minerals or greenery, whatever it's called, money, right there of the river, which is nice. And now we can create a ton of wetland. So here you can see 67. This space is 12. Apparently this will be turned into a wetland thingy. It's not for itself. Look at that. Now that covers about 20 terms of wetland. More. Unfortunately, like this would now only give us +3. Actually, +3. This is what we would get back if we would place it here, because you can see at the bottom left it says 322. If we don't place it there, it's 319. So actually, we do make a profit of +3. So that pays for itself. And having the wetlands is good. Now it's +24. Roughly by the looks of it. Now, of course, this other terrain. There's different ways to, fynbos flowers. Swarming these, that's going to greenery and fynbos flowers. Fynbos actually can get later. It requires the sun, it requires the solar amplifier, and the solar amplifier sets this thing on fire. And there's a whole area of it, which you would think is a really bad thing, but it creates ash. And from the ash, you can actually grow a forest. Now, this seems like an area that we could have a pretty decently controlled burn in. We might want to do that, actually. So, if we would place one down over here, now we would also need a desiccator. And that creates the fit. Now, we should be in range of this. Yes, and prepare for something. It really freaked me out. But okay, so the high ground, but it's going to burn all the ends. So cool. That is very nice. Now we could do them, which requires this. Then, what is this? Dead trees or something? I guess so. And we need to build it on the dead trees. And now we can see +38 here, and then the last one over here. And we would have -43. That would be so. This would be an investment. I don't know if it gets actually. If you can see what it would cover. So this gets us very close. Actually, it might be worth the investment. Not quite. All right. So we would need to control burn another area. We could turn this into a forest as well. This would be a nice little burn zone. I guess first we would place this thing. What does it need? The sun. Why can it not place? Yes, we place this thing first, and place this, and then it gets to burn. to create. Alright, so this also burns down to raw wood and argon. And this would create all forest that we need, I think. Oh, we just need a bit more. Oh, that's crazy. Alright, a bit more. This would cover it to its full need, but it's going to lose us. We might want to invest a little bit more stuff, get some money back by making some this other biome that I don't know what it's called. Heather, I think. Would this be called Heather? I'm going to call it Heather. But this is a small investment of 25 greenery, and it pays for a ton of stuff. Like this would pay for another. And this looks really cool. So basically it's really nice. That's me that we weren't getting. This should cover it nicely. Not quite. Ah, now this lost a bit as well. We still need it as well. There's a second trailer. I've seen deer in my own playthrough. There's a nice, I guess. Doesn't seem like. We need to down to one. Ground as well. Build it right there. We lose about 16, but that is not too bad. And we are very close to the water. We should be able to turn this into a hydroponium. Yes, indeed. We got some more wetlands along there. But we're not quite there. We need a bit more. Unfortunately, we cannot build them on their own. So it's an investment of 100. Now, over here, that does create a... Look at that. Now I wonder if we built an excavator over this. Actually, we could not, but if we would create another bit of water way over here, then we could. But we're going to lose 3. That would not be great. What to do here? Over somewhere, yes. So power elsewhere. We could still do some things over here. That land. That would go down one of these things. Of course, we're going to have to cover this area with as much ground. 68, 65. That is about the best that we can do. Oh, 75. Yeah, we're going for that one. Of course, we don't have water here, so put a little bit, put down pump. Maybe just into a hydroponic. Nope. Build one. That should be able to go. Create more and less. Was already running on. Nice. Very even investment because we don't have to put a calcium. Let's see, that would be 75. We need a scrubber, knife. Now we would put on these as 50 to get investment back, but probably not even too much of it. This is going to be a bit of a calculated risk. Alright, we can build a power generator over here. This would build another toxin scrubber way over here. We have terrain. And now we really need to be careful. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we need to make a profit. 77, 70, yeah, I'm going to be doing much at 77 to be honest. 75, yeah. 79. There we go. Hydroponiums, which we can do over here. This pays with plus 11 as well, so this makes back investment and it's buying. Alright, so now with biodiversity restored, we can begin the unique ownership of recycled materials. You've also been given access to advanced weather technology. So points we can increase the temperature. Let's see, this one is humidity, but wasteland decreases it. So if we build this, it provides temperature pylon, uses solar amplifiers to increase the ambient temperature. On way. And that's the one thing, well, the temperature doesn't need to be towards humidity. And it's pylon. So if we build one of these, and we can see how much effectiveness it would have. But this one would be that's nice. Right. So it's moving in the area that we desire. but just a bit. So we would need another one, and I think once we reach it, there's going to be a reward. I think there's going to be also irrigate these patches, and then those patches, these patches over here, so that would also pay for itself in a way. To try and pay for everything to come back, and also reclaiming buildings pays for itself, because we are going to get back money. But look at that, our money is going really fast because we that is, well, we have our deer as well. The rate is dropping a bit. Recording that in my play that didn't happen. I stayed at a solid 60. Right now I'm hovering around 40. That's just because I'm recording. So if you're noticing frame drops, the whole game I've been running at 60 when I was playing by myself. So anyway, we're making tons of money and we need to invest it in some things. We first of all need to build an airship, and the airship allows for the construction of the materials on the riverbank. So we could place this in many places, but let's we could build the biomes anymore. We need a ship, a recycling drone, which we can build right here. So we and then these also of their costs, so it's affected of these actually. And then we have a loading dock, and this material from the surrounding buildings onto it. So this one, if we place it over here, is going to call over our little ship. Look at that. Off it goes. Picks up the silo, and it also automatically recycles the little thing, the river pickup building. And this is how we're going to flood the map. I think we can place one down over here. Now, of course, we're going to recycle a bit of to how much recycle? 4% of those. Any buildings should, yeah. We built it somewhere we couldn't actually reach with the silo or with the loading. That's something we need to keep an eye on. We can build this thing down here. We need a lot of all. Oh no, let's have a look. A lot of buildings over here. Build that one right there. Build the pickup points. It's why can we not build one over here? Is there too many left or something? You can build one over here. Ah, that's interesting. And we should have a lock over here as well to go back down the other side, and then what? That's right, there's a waterfall. Alright, so if we place it over here, we should be able to reach these buildings as well, where they stay for now. Alright. Good, there's one more rain coming, so we're going to cover all of these patches as well. Oh, this is kind of tricky, huh? Not that bad, actually. We can reach them. Not a problem. Problem over here. Back as well. Yes, we can. There's a waterfall over here that I had not noticed, but if you place one down over here, it's just going to be able to reach it. Just yes, it did. All right, there we go. Wait for it down. Place on a pickup point. Yes, that land. That's a really a ship time. Different of the game. So arguably this is one of the least interesting parts of it, I think. Right, we're going to save this area and keep this to reach this backside. The glint on the water, the fish moving around, the sound of the birds. It is an interesting game. It's so different from anything else I've ever played. The arrows will point us in the direction we need to pick these up, as you can see. There's 5 things left. There's one thing in the corner as well. Yep, that one. So we're almost home free. You can pick up as well. Actually, to get to the so here first can go and cross and it does go from this to that. Look at that, man. The deer in the fields. Here we are. Now he just needs to go back, and now that we have the drone, we can launch. Like we have greenery on the inside of this thing, like it's just a flying greenhouse or something, or nature herself flying this thing around, because I don't see a pilot. It's a bit interesting. Look at that. Off we go. Literally. Now we get this overview of the planet as well, with this one area, this one continent becoming green. So this makes me curious, because we have a style thing, and I guess every area could have its own unique challenges. Some could be harder than others, so it's like it really amps up the puzzle side of it. Yeah, but anyway, that's Terra Nil. Cool game, very interesting. We can wishlist it on Steam, I already did so. And this is the button I was talking about. If you click on this, it takes you to the Steam page for Factorio, which is really funny. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. I will see you guys